Hello YouTube, my name is Ray. I just want you to know for the record, I have remade this video at least 7 times, and I keep having to redo it because I get so angry about it. I go into a cussing rampage, and it's just, it gets really bad. That being said, the motivation behind this video was I read a story on Fox News yesterday about a woman who escaped North Korea and what that entitled, and I am going to link this to liberalism, Antifa, and possible solutions, so you're just going to have to give me time to get there. So basically this lady describes her life in North Korea and how her 2 little brothers literally starved to death, and how her father was tortured for sneaking a bag of rice over the border to North Korea when they were transported back after being caught. Literally on a daily basis, women and children are starving and being tortured to death. That is the definition of pure, unrestrained evil. Now, the greatest generation on this earth during World War II fought against the very type of evil we are now seeing in North Korea. They didn't make excuses. They went over, they kicked ass, they took names, and that was the end of it. Okay? But here we are in modern-day America, and this type of evil is alive and well and exists. And rather than doing anything about it, we're busy over here in the United States arguing about safe spaces and what gender a person is because they're confused and they want to be a boy-girl thing. Really? And also watched how a Republican meeting got shut down in a library at some college. It's always a college. And their arguments, of course, they don't want to actually sit and have a civil discussion about this. You either agree with them or you're a fascist racist, which is the type of rhetoric we've been getting lately in this country, all because they're whining that Trump won the election. Then you start to see the rise of these groups like Antifa that are supposedly going to start a war on November 4th, which they're basically just a bunch of spoiled rotten college kids. But let's first define liberalism for what it has become. Okay? Because if we don't identify these people for what they are, then we're just a bunch of rambling idiots. Liberalism is, in fact, communism. Okay? They are no longer hiding behind liberalism. They are, in fact, coming out and saying that they're communists. And they want to overthrow Donald Trump and Mike Pence and their regime to further push the agenda of a global communist world. They want the very same evil that's going on in North Korea here in the United States, and they're so stupid, they don't even realize they're not going to be the ones in charge of this new regime. But why even care, right? Why even bring up Antifa? Who cares? They're just a bunch of spoiled, rotten college kids. I'll tell you why. The ideology itself is dangerous, but now they are being funded. And they're being funded a lot of money. This makes them particularly dangerous. And in case you haven't looked around, this country is in turmoil. We are divided right down the center, left and right. And it's becoming dangerous. Now, I hear a lot of people complaining about liberals, but I don't see any solutions. So I propose, and bear with me because this is going to seem extremely radical and against the First Amendment, yada, yada, yada. I understand that. But right now, it's the only theory I can see conclusively that's going to lead to some sort of resolution that's best for this country. We should make liberalism illegal. And this is why. Liberalism has openly come out as communism. Communists have always been the enemy of free enterprise and the United States of America. Particularly because they cannot control the world currency as it is in a capitalist system. Even though communism itself doesn't work, and most communist countries have adapted some form of capitalism in order for their economy to grow, these people here, these Antifa kids, brainwashed by college campuses, which, by the way, we need to hold these people accountable for what they've done to our youth. It is disgraceful what they have done to our youth. And I don't blame the kids particularly themselves. I blame the people who indoctrinated them on these college campuses. Those people need to be held accountable. And the parents of those people should be ashamed. Ashamed that they let their kids get this brainwashed. But their goal is to start a war. That is what they want. They want us to kill each other as Americans. There is no arguing with these people. They're going to have it their way. So the only logical solution to the problem, if we're going to save this country, is to make it illegal to be a liberal. Now, I know, First Amendment, they have the freedom of speech and believe what they believe. But let's be honest, the ideology is destroying our youth. It is destroying the very fabrics that make this country great. They, to me, in my personal opinion, are a greater threat to our freedom than terrorism. Now, when we have evil, like we have over North Korea, the United States, united being the key word, should be united to fight that type of evil, to free these suffering people over there in North Korea, and kick the shit out of Kim Jong-un. Like, fuck that guy, right? Oh, I cussed again. I'm really having a tough time not cussing in this video. But instead, we're sitting here arguing over safe spaces, gun-free zones, because taking away our guns is going to stop the criminals from killing people. That's ridiculously stupid logic, okay? Stupid, stupid, stupid. Anyway, but that's another story altogether. There's a reason that they're pushing for gun agenda, and it happens to do with the globalist communistic agenda. But that's another story for another time. But these kids don't even know what gender they are. That's how confused they are. And it's simply because we've allowed this ideology of liberalism to get so out of control that these people are actually starting to believe their own bullshit. Alright? It's a dangerous ideology. Now they're well funded. They have money to back up what they're saying, which makes them extremely dangerous. And they're coming for our rights, and they're here in this country. They have infiltrated every aspect, every college campus, every educational system. Even most of our forms of government have been infiltrated by the communist agenda. Liberalism is communism. And the only solution that I can see to saving this country is to make it illegal to be a liberal. Otherwise, we're screwed. These people do not care about your rights. They don't. They're so brainwashed. Sometimes I wonder if I'm wasting my breath here. But I don't see a lot of YouTubers or people out there offering solutions to the problem. Okay? Most of us don't have time to riot back against Antifa like that because we have jobs and we work for a living. We have to pay bills. But we have to come up with some sort of solution. This is becoming dangerous. Our children have to grow up in this country. And we can't have our children growing up in a country where they're afraid of free speech because they're afraid Antifa is going to punch them in the streets. It's a dangerous world we're living in, and sometimes a more severe punishment for trying to destroy our freedom may be necessary. Okay? It is important you understand that these people are not going to sit there and have a logical argument with you and come to a conclusion. They are brainwashed. They do not care whether they are right or wrong. They are completely and totally brainwashed. Brainwashed. Do you understand the definition of brainwashed? Okay, moon blinked, some people call it. They don't see anything but what they've been taught. It's time that we do something about it. So, that's my little spiel. Anyway, thanks for listening. I'm Ray. If you like this video, like and subscribe, share, and ta-ta.